The Oregon Ducks take it on the chin in the Peach Bowl. Their season is over, but the offseason is already a madhouse. Welcome to the Ducks Confidential Podcast. I am Aaron Fentress of the Oregonian and OregonLive, and I'm with George Wrighster of the Unafraid Show and the CW. George, so many things to say. I'm going to take the high road.
Why
here.
are you smiling? You look way too happy. No. We knew that this was going to happen. You look way too happy.
No,
you look way too happy. Stop.
I'm not happy.
Stop. But just here's the thing is, Aaron, I want you to be you. Don't sit up here and try to fake like that because Miami's playing on Monday. You're like, oh, you're peacocking all over the place. And yeah, so don't sit up here and try just own it. Don't sit up here and fake the funk because everybody can see through it. So just do your stick. Just do it.
Hold on. I'm not gonna fake anything. I'm just good. I got like with last year when Oregon lost Ohio State. I wasn't smug about it. We weren't doing this podcast, but we were on Talking Ducks, and I felt badly because I don't necessarily want to see the Ducks lose, especially like that. And I should be getting ready to go to Miami to cover Oregon versus Miami. I'm bummed right now about that. Don't sell that too short.
I do believe that you did want to see Oregon, Miami. I 100% believe that you wanted that.
The storyline, they're just amazing. They're immense. I would have been probably on the Mario beat all week, just covering that whole angle. But see, there's levels to this thing, right? I can be disappointed that they lost the way they lost. I can be disappointed I'm not covering Oregon, Miami. And I can still be sort of like
that you were right about that they were going to lose.
I mean, people want to be right, but this is one of those times when I want to be wrong. That's the problem. There are some times when I make predictions and I want to be wrong. And this was one of them. But anyway, so before the game started, man, I'm telling you, man, that was an absolute home game. We were walking, we walked from the Peachtree Hotel, me and Tyson Alger and Bill Orm and Sean Mager, our video photographer guy, walked. It was maybe a 20-minute walk, and we're walking through downtown Atlanta. And there was like a 2-block stretch that I filmed. I put it on Twitter or X. And out of maybe 200 fans, we saw one Duck fan. It was that dominant. And then in the stadium, it was at least 90%, if not 95%. There was one little pocket of green over here. And then there was little dots here and there of green. But the rest of it was just mass red. And I'm sitting like, okay, you lost your batting ram running back. Noah wasn't 100%. He ended up not even getting a carry because of turf toe. So you got De'Aaron Hill, and you got Jay Harris, a guy who was in the portal.
And De'Aaron Hill wasn't 100% healthy either.
Right, exactly. Now, they both did a decent job, but they weren't going to carry the run game. If you can't run, then it's all on Dante. And I'm just thinking, and it's just all this wave of emotion with Indiana, like this was their Super Bowl. This is the biggest game in program history. And I said to Tyson and Bill, I said, dude, I think the Ducks are about to get their ass kicked. Now, that wasn't like an official prediction, but everything just felt like this could go sideways in a hurry, and boom, out the gate, pick 6. But then you get But then you get a masterful drive by Dante, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, maybe he did learn from the first game, and then from that point on, completely downhill from there, a complete disaster. What say you, man? Because that was ugly.
I want to go back to the fan thing, right?
Okay.
Because I saw a lot of people. I mean, obviously it's troll posters. Oh, Washington people and other people. See, okay. Let me break this down from the different points. First thing is, Oregon has reached a point to where people hate Oregon. Like nationally, there are tons and tons of fan bases that hate Oregon because they're taking their recruits. They are this, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just like you feel like that they are impacting your potential for success, or they beat you, or this or that. And there's a lot of people that love to dance on Oregon's grave.
Correct.
Now, and then people are like, well, why didn't Oregon fans show up? This is an obvious answer. Okay. Right. One thing is that if you had Alabama in the next in the next part of the playoff playing in Seattle, you wouldn't have had very many Alabama fans there, because there's two parts to it. One, to Indiana's credit, right? Their fans have showed up. The reason why their fans are so invested and showing up in this way, because they're like, we don't know if we're ever going to see this again, and this is the first time we've ever seen it.
Right.
So they're like, we're not going to miss this. We don't care what we have to sacrifice that. Also, Indiana has one of the largest alumni bases in the country. So they have fans everywhere. Excuse me. They have graduates everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time that they last season they got a little bit excited, but this year, and that momentum carried over into this year, they've never in the history of Indiana football. Last year was the best season that they've ever had. This season was the best season that they've ever had again. So like their fans aren't used to this.
Let me interject one quick stat for you to support what you just said. So I just Googled it. Indiana has 850,000 graduates worldwide. Oregon has 276. Continue. 276,000. Continue.
Yeah. This 4 times as many.
And especially down, apparently in Georgia, they're really loaded with Indiana alum. Anyway, go ahead.
So when you have that many alum and they're like, yo, this is our first time, like their base is just starting to get motivated and everything else. If Indiana continues to be good 20 years from now, it would be the same thing. like that. Yes, they would have a lot of people show up, but there's a little bit of fatigue and cost mitigation with people, because Oregon
100%.
had to. Yeah, had Oregon been playing in the Rose Bowl, they would have had way more Oregon fans because they could drive down. There's more alumni in California, all of that. So now, like that's the reason why. And Oregon has had 20 years, 25 years of going to major bowl games and playing in the 2 national championships. This is almost a national championship. And I don't say this in a bad way, because I think that Oregon fans generally are very, very good. I think that there is an element of like, you're kind of used to this. And so you don't have the same level of, I mean, it's the same thing at Ohio State. Indiana fans outnumbered Ohio State at their game. It's just the reality of the world, and it's the newness for Indiana that played into it.
Also,
but now
the cost cannot be
ignored,
skipped over at all. So, I mean, think about it. I take it for granted because I'm getting paid to go. Everything's paid for, right? But if you're a fan and you have budgeted a bowl game trip, and then you're faced with potentially to be 3, right? 3 travel games, and they're all the furthest away they possibly could be.
None of them you can drive to.
Indiana is between 6 and 8 hours from Atlanta. Those people, that's like us in Portland driving not even to the Bay Area. If you told people the playoff game in the Bay Area, a mob of people would drive 9-10 hours to the Bay Area. So you can imagine how many people drove from Indiana.
And you don't even necessarily have to get a hotel room at that. You could like drive in if you wanted to, or only
drive back after the game if you have multiple drivers. Exactly.
Or drive to an hour or two to like a place where the hotels are significantly less pricey. Like you have a lot of options. So so I think that factored into the attendance. And then as far as the game went, okay, so the pick 6 happens on the first play. And the funny part is I was in my movie room, right? Watching the game. And my son had just come home from his basketball game. So I went to his basketball game. I left him, I rushed home, and then he rode his bike home. So then he's fixing something to eat in the kitchen. And for some reason, I think because I had rewound it or something, and so the TV wasn't live. It was like 5 seconds but behind. And it was the kickoff. Oregon on my TV was running out on the field, okay? Getting ready to get lined up. And my 14-year-old son, who plays quarterback too, goes, Dante, no!
And you're looking at, wait, they haven't even huddled yet.
Yes. I'm like, they're just going to the line of scrimmage, right? They were literally just going to the line of scrimmage. And he goes, Dante, no! And then he's like, oh my God, why did he throw it? He was like, he freaking missed the ball inside and blah, blah. And then all of a sudden I see it happening. So I know something disastrous has happened. Right. I don't know what. I don't know where they fumbled, but I'm thinking he probably threw a pick. I didn't think it was going to be a pick six. So a pick six happens and I'm like, whoa, this is not good, right? This is obviously not good.
Yeah, 7-0.
But then I'm like, okay, it's be
just
fine
one play. It's just one play.
It's one play. And if you go down and score here, you'll be fine. Oregon goes down and goes to go score with virtually no trouble. And
great drive.
Yes, and granted, you are on your opening script, so you should have success on your opening script. Okay, cool. Indiana gets the ball. They go down and score. No, that's not even alarming because it's on their opening script. Like, those are the plays that should work. You know what I mean? Like, those are the plays that you have put in new wrinkles that the other team hasn't seen and everything else. Those plays in your opening 10 plays, those should work. Okay. So now it's 14-7, but it's really only 7 offensive points. So you're not really, so you're still like, okay, cool. If Oregon can go score, fine. Or at least a field goal or something. Okay, Oregon gets a stop. And you're like, okay, fine. And then Oregon goes down and gets a stop. And you're like, okay, it's 14-7. We got to stop and we got the ball back. Okay. Maybe
back to a normal game. Back to a normal game. We settled down. Okay, you started bad. You can actually still win it, even though that turnovers are the number one correlation between winning and losing. You can fade one turnover and be fine. Like that, especially if it's early in the game, you can fade that and be okay. And then the ball gets knocked out on the next drive. So Oregon had one play for a pick six, 14-play drive, I believe. Yep. One play for a turnover. And I'm like, on the fumble when the ball got hit and we turned the ball over, I think inside the 10. And I'm like, uh-oh, this is a problem. But now it's 21-7. And I'm like, now you actually, the first fumble actually made it 14.
No. I remember this exactly, Aaron.
I'm looking at it right here. Hold on.
No, Aaron, you are looking at it wrong, my brother.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm telling you.
No, I was looking at the drive chart. The drive chart was slightly different because of the turnover situation. So you're right. So it's 14-0 after the touchdown pass to Cooper, and then then the first fumble set up the next touchdown. Go ahead, continue.
Yes. So then I'm like, oh my God, it's 21-7. This is highly concerning. Now Oregon's Oregon's defense has to get at least one turnover. Like, you cannot, like, you're not going to, like, turnovers are directly correlated to wins and losses. Mm-hmm. Like, the team that wins the turnover battle wins like damn near 90% of the games. And especially when you get to very good football teams, you cannot give Indiana extra possessions without getting some back. It's not like it's going to go poorly. So then Oregon, so now it's 21-7. Indiana has like 70. Wait, how many yards? How many yards of total offense did they? They have 78 yards of total. No, 78 yards of total offense.
Yeah,
and it's 21-7.
So they're 25-3 and 61.
No.
So 88.
No. The first was 0 yards of total offense because it was a pick six. Then they had 75 yards of total offense on that drive. And then they had 3 yards of total offense on the next drive. So they had 78 total yards and had 21 points.
All right, whatever. This drive chart looks different, but go ahead. Continue your story.
I'm positive, Aaron.
Okay.
I'm 100. I'm looking.
I'm not arguing, but I'm just looking. The drive chart, whatever. Just doesn't matter. Go ahead. Continue your story.
He's frustrated with the drive chart now.
No. It doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Yep. So now I'm like, oh my God, this is high. This is bad.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is actually bad. Are you? Well, first thing, are you looking at the drive chart on ESPN?
No, the official stats thing.
Okay.
Us.
So now I'm like, oh snap. So then I'm like, okay, Oregon, you just had one really good drive.
Right.
And then you had 2 turnovers on one play. So I'm like, this doesn't mean the offense is broken. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't mean the offense is actually broken. You had a fluke fumble, obviously a terrible throw on the pick 6, but you may be able to go, like, you actually may be able to go score, right?
Right.
So then Indiana forces another punt. And at that point in time, I was like, if they don't get a stop right now, this could be curtains. You hear me? Mm-hmm. This could be curtains. Indiana, they go down and go score. No, I'm sorry. Oregon fumbles again. And you're just like, oh.
Wasn't that the block punt? Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you fumbled again. And I'm like, oh, it's 28-7. You need a miracle now. like you're in miracle territory. Like, you have to get turnovers, punt return, block punt, something, and then you give up a block punt. Dude, this was a calamity of errors. Indiana is not a good football team. They are a great football team, and I believe that if they end up winning the national championship, and especially if they dominate Indiana in the Miami in the national championship.
Don't say
I think that,
Don't say it.
This will go down as one of the 5 greatest college football teams of all time.
Okay, that's just insanity, dude.
It will.
Why? Because they blew out Oregon? How are they?
No.
How are they, dude? In history?
Yes.
In history.
Yes. Aaron.
In history.
Aaron. Yes, Aaron.
They're not even better than some of the recent Alabama teams. They're not better than LSU a few years ago. They're not better than Miami 21. Come on,
Aaron,
dude.
Yes,
no, they're not.
Here's
oh my God, I'm gonna have an
why.
aneurysm. I'm gonna have an aneurysm. This is insane.
Here's the reason why, Aaron.
Nope, I didn't. If you said top 25, I'd entertain that. Top 5 is insanity.
Yes,
but go ahead, man.
It is because number one, it has never in the history of college football been harder to win a national championship.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Aaron, it's not the most talented. It is not the most talented.
It doesn't matter.
But in terms of the best team and the best seasons and the best performances, this will go down as one of the top 5 seasons in college football history. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna let you finish this nonsense, then I'll just correct you. Go ahead. Finish it.
This will go down as one of those because this team has beaten Ohio State, who's one of the most talented teams that we have ever seen. They ran through the Big Ten. They won the Big Ten. And you consider that this is Indiana as well. This is the thing that makes this season so special. It is not the most talented team in terms of how many players that they are going to send to the NFL. It is not. However, when you look at what this actual team, I'm talking about the collection of individuals, what they accomplished, this will go down as one of the top 5 per season I'll go season performances. Forget if you want to say say that this is one of the top 5 teams or not. This will go down as that.
Okay. Let me correct you now. So, number 1, you based all of that on the current system of football. Having to play more games to win it than every team in history other than last year's national champion
that makes
does not make them the best. That doesn't make you
I
the
didn't
best.
say that they were the best team
The
of all
first thing you said was
time.
one of the best. You said one of the best teams of all
I
time.
said one of that.
You said one of five. You said five. You said five.
I don't think that they're better than my than the 01 Miami team. I don't think that they're better than the 04 04 USC. I don't think that they're better than those teams. But I do. Once we get down about 4 or 5, that's where I think that this team would belong, and they're gonna beat the brakes off of Miami too.
Okay. The idea that this is a top 5 team of all time is absolute insanity and clear recency bias. You based it on the number of games and teams they had to play.
Not
that is
just that.
Can I finish, please?
It's the fashion in which they've done it.
It doesn't matter. That's a new thing, having to play that many games. So we can't say that the teams of the past couldn't have done the exact same thing. So you cannot make that comparison. But this team on paper isn't remotely close to some of the greatest college football teams. Like, it's not even in the same discussion. We are.
What are you basing that on? What are you basing that on?
Just the entire talent level, their scores necessarily, just they're not as dominant, and they don't have the talent base as some of the greatest teams in program history, in NCAA history, that produced 10, 15 number 1 picks or second round picks combined that just produce
Aaron,
more
NFL
talented array of players.
Draft picks do not make a team better, Aaron.
It makes them more talented. We're talking. Oh my God, never mind. Let's just move on.
I did not say that they were the most talented.
If they're not the most talented, then they're not the best. Okay, I don't want to argue. I don't want to argue about this. Hold on. I'm not going to say another word about it. It's just too stupid for me. Go ahead. I'm not going to talk about it.
No, Indiana is not the most talented team ever, but they are
one of the best
teams ever.
Next topic. All right. How disappointing was this for Oregon? Let me make this point now, because this needs to be said. All right.
Oh,
coming into the season, I stated very clearly I did not think this team could win a national championship with 18 new starters, with Dante Moore still in development mode. And I thought they could make the playoffs, but I did not think they were going to win. And that's why I said the window was closed until Ohio State and Georgia lost. Then I was like, okay, maybe it's a jar, but I don't think they're going to get by Indiana. I still think that had they played Georgia this round or Ohio State this round, that they would have lost to them as well, because they just weren't ready as a collective team. And we saw glimpses of that early. One of the points I made about Dante is that he had to go through some growing pains. I thought it would happen in Penn State. He answered the bell at Penn State. It happened in Indiana. And from that point on, he was kind of up and down in terms of his production. And he didn't look like the type of quarterback that's going to get into high-end playoff situations against elite teams and be able to elevate you in those moments, because he hadn't truly done it yet other than the Penn State game. So what happened? Boom, it all fell apart in that game. Now, did I think it was going to be like that? No, I didn't. But I think we saw all the different areas where this team just wasn't yet at that level. That said, and we'll get to this more a couple segments, they're going to return most of that crew. And so now you have the experience level going into next season. And so we'll talk more about it next year, but that's going to be a different animal than what we saw this year. So yeah, I didn't think they were going to win it, and they didn't. Everything fell to pieces in the end. But the question here is, the next topic is, was this a disappointing season? There are fans out there freaking out, disappointed. People are trashing Oregon because they got blown out playoff again. But to me, Oregon overachieved this season. Like, to me, getting to the semifinals was an overachievement and a very good season for this program. It's not a black mark at all, and it sets the table for something potentially special next year. Now you go.
No, this season was not disappointing at all. Before the season, Aaron, when we started this podcast, what did I say that was Oregon, what Oregon was going to do this year?
You thought that their floor was 10-2. They're probably going to go 11-1. My floor was 9-3, ceiling 10-2. You thought they were definitely going to make the playoffs, which we agreed on, and you did not see them as necessarily a national championship team. You didn't say that until you lost your mind before the playoffs started.
No. What I said, no.
You were guzzling the Kool-Aid. You were just like,
no.
Let's pour all down your face.
After because I put out brackets. I put out brackets on my social media. I did not. So you are correct. I did not pick Oregon to win the national championship in the beginning of the season.
Right.
I didn't pick Oregon to win the national championship when the playoff first started. What I did not
put out a bracket.
No, I did. I put out a bracket. I put out a bracket after every single round. I didn't have them winning at first, and then what
after
I
JMU,
did,
after JMU, you had them winning it.
No. After Texas Tech, I had them winning.
No, oh no. I'm going
I
to
believe.
did you delete?
I'll go.
No. I'm gonna find it now. Go ahead. Continue lying.
No. I can pull
Continue
up the
lying.
bracket. Well, hold up, Aaron. I have them right here. You are correct, Aaron.
Thank you. I know.
After the JMU game, I did. After
what was your bracket before then?
I had Ohio State winning. I had Ohio State winning at first.
Before the playoffs.
Yes. And then once the seeding got set, I had Ohio State playing Oregon in the national championship and Ohio State winning.
Okay, you had Oregon in the national championship game in your original bracket on 8/22. You had them playing Clemson.
Yeah, yes, and then Clemson winning. That was the original.
You didn't even have Indiana in the playoffs. You also had Illinois blowing out Indiana, if you remember that. But continue.
Aaron, it's the preseason.
I'm not. It's not a detriment. It's not a knock on you. I'm just pointing it out.
Yes, correct. It's the preseason. My preseason, it's so crazy because last year
it's guesswork. We don't know.
Yes, last year I got 9 out of the 12 teams right. This year, how many did I get right initially, Aaron?
Playoff teams
actually made the playoffs. 4, I think.
You had UNLV in this bad boy. So Oregon, Ohio State, Georgia. You had Kansas in this thing. You had Illinois in it.
I didn't have Kansas. I had Kansas State.
Okay, sorry. You had Texas. You had LSU. Oh my God. You had the Gamecocks. Ooh, yeah, you had 3 right.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, yeah, it was horrendous. It was horrendous. It was a bloodbath. And it was funny. The LSU one, I did not want to put LSU in there, but then you know how you get to like thinking and researching and all of this stuff, and I was like, everything is set for them to do it. They're returning Nussmeier. Their offensive line looks good. Their wide receivers are super good. Their defense has historically been pretty good. Like what? And I know that the previous season hadn't, but they're an older team. Like this was supposed to be a good season for LSU. Right. Supposed to be. And everything on paper said that this was going to be a good season for Clemson. Everything on paper said that. But that's why you play the games. But the entire point to what we were talking about, Aaron, was that this season cannot be a disappointment. And remember, on this podcast, we talked about that people's brains change after you get into the tournament. Then all of a sudden people are like, oh my God, like now we got a shot. And then after the Texas Tech game, that's when I was like, dude, people are not going to care what their preseason expectations are anymore. All they see is that you're 2 games away from winning a national championship. And if you win one, you feel really good about winning the second. So I do understand where there are some Oregon fans that feel disappointed, but here's the truth. Whether you win by 1, whether you lose by 1 or you lose by 100, you still lost. And to me, it's easier for me to cope and deal with a game that I had started to that I gave up on at halftime than to deal with like imagine if you lost in the same way that Ole Miss lost. You would be sick.
Right.
Oregon fans would be sick, wanting to throw up. And you got a D tackle laying on the ground that could have tackled the quarterback. That would you know what I mean? Like that would be heartbreaking. So I would like fans to keep it like to remember what your expectations were prior to the season. And I would agree with Aaron. They did. I wouldn't say they necessarily overachieved, but I feel like that they were in line with my expectations for this season. And you were hoping that that you could play clean in the Indiana. If Oregon plays clean in the Indiana game, now all of a sudden you got a toss-up game. But you didn't play clean and yes, the D'Angelo Pons pick 6, that's a forced error in that on the other side, Jeremiah McClellan's running scot-free for a touchdown. Bro, Aaron, butt naked. They dropped him. They dropped him on the right side. So, but he went to the left. Okay, cool. He was trying to take the low grass. Threw a horrific ball. Well, actually, it wasn't horrific.
The ball
it
was fine. It was just, yeah.
No, the ball was.
Well, it was inside. Yeah, it was inside.
Yes.
It was a quick out. Here's what I don't get. How do you pre-snap outside leverage by the corner and throw a quick out?
Because he's playing cover 3. He should.
But he didn't bail.
No, he doesn't have to bail. His responsibility is above is deep third.
No, I understand that, but he does. But if he doesn't retreat at all, and you're throwing a quick out as opposed to a hitch, you shouldn't throw that pass, especially if he's outside leverage.
Throw that ball. They throw those balls all the time. I've quarterback sons, Aaron. I'm telling you that's
I
a ball.
played wide receiver in college. I've watched football forever. I've coached football. I'm not saying you can't throw it necessarily, but if I'm pre-snapping an outside leverage corner for my outside receiver on that side of the field, he's outside the numbers already, and he's running a quick out. I have no room for error on that. If that corner doesn't bail, I can't make that throw because of what just happened.
Corner is here's where Hans did an amazing job. Okay, one, it was a three-step drop. Dante held the ball and took his eyes straight there. He held it a little bit too long, and the ball was inside and low. Had the ball been where it was supposed to be, because we saw Fernando
George, Jesus,
Mendoza. Listen,
you're wrong.
No, I'm not.
You are. I'm looking at it right now. Can I explain to you? The court. He barely retreated, George.
Aaron, you're not on 3-step drops. You're not looking at the quarterback. Is not looking at the corner retreating. If they're in cover 3, he's the only person he's looking at is to see if the underneath the defender can get underneath. I'm telling you, that's
insane.
What they're looking at.
Go ahead, dude. Go ahead. That doesn't make any sense. Dude. That doesn't make any sense. Go ahead.
It cannot make sense to you.
Go ahead.
I'm telling you what quarterbacks are taught. If it's cover 3 and you're throwing that quick out, you are the only person that can really stop that route is the underneath defender who's buzzing out there. D'Angelo Pons did a phenomenal job on that play. He read the quarterback. It was a 3-step drop. He did that and he made it. Aaron, that was an elite play. That is not a normal play that is made. That is based upon 2 things. Number 1, Will Stein's predictability at other times. This is like overall, I believe that Will Stein is a very good offensive coordinator. Will Stein also in the pass game.
Let's not dissolve this into criticizing Will Stein.
No.
You're going off on a tangent that doesn't matter.
Aaron,
it doesn't.
If we're talking about a season recap, I'm telling you that Will Stein, and this is coming from I'm not going to say where it's coming up from. This is what I have watched going back and re-examining the season. This is something that I have not that Will Stein was not at his best in the playoff period and kind of toward the end of the season. And if there was any move that should have been made, Dan should have let either a different play caller or told Will to go to Kentucky. And it's not because and this is not a Will Stein bash. This is it was proving to be very difficult for him to do both jobs so far away from each other. And it became a little bit of an issue. And Will Stein in the pass game, when teams play zone coverage against Oregon, he has trouble figuring out schemes and ways to scheme people open in zone coverage. If you play man coverage against Will Stein, he is going to eat you alive. Anytime that people played man coverage versus Oregon, he was elite, like not even good, but elite. And he's good in the run game. But when teams played zone coverage, Wisconsin, Iowa, Indiana, heavy zone teams. And when Oregon played heavy zone teams, because Indiana plays zone on like 90% of their snaps. When they Northwestern zone, Penn State plays a lot of zone, but they'll mix in man because they have some athletes as well. Against zone heavy teams, Oregon's offense stalled in the pass game. It's just the truth. So it's not a bash.
Make a couple points here. Do not interrupt.
It's just reality.
Number one, you said on that first pick six, you said McClellan was wide open on the other side. So clearly that play worked. So criticizing Stein for that predictability, so to speak, is unfair. Although it was probably an Indiana busted coverage because they just let them just run a corner uncovered on that side of the field. I don't even know what they were running on that side because it looked like cover two, but the safety came up. So then it looks like cover three, but the corner didn't retreat. So the whole thing was just blown on that side. But on the side he's throwing it, especially if you run a quick hitch, the hitch is going to be inside or in between the ball and the corner who's got outside leverage. So that's an easier throw to make. If you're throwing a quick out, you have to make sure that corner retreats. Teams will show cover three and then jump cover two just to pick off those types of things. So he has to see that's outside leverage and make sure that guy bails, because if he doesn't, you're gifting him an interception on a quick out. So that's 100% on Dante. I'm not going to blame the coordinator on that.
No. See, I'm not blaming the coordinator for that particular, because had it been a good throw, it's either a catch or a breakup. Like it's not picked if it's a good throw. And we saw for Fernando Mendoza make a throw in that game that was, I think it was in the second quarter. They were on the left hash. He threw a deep out to the right hash, like a 15-yard out. And I think Flowers was on Surratt, or whoever was on Surratt. It was, Aaron, if the ball is 6 inches, like it was a 50-yard, it was a, 60-yard throw. Like 50-yard throw sideways, because it's 15 yards deep. You're on the other hash, through an out route. And if that ball is at the same location that Dante's was, a catchable ball, that ball's a pick six. It was so like ball placement when you get to elite competition, ball placement matters more than anything else. And that was the entire point, was that the throw was poor. And I do believe that, and this isn't any excuse. I think that when we're on here, we're supposed to be talking about reasons, right? Reasons, not excuses. Like explaining to people why things happened and not making excuses for why they happened. So I do believe
your specialty.
No. Yes, it is my specialty in telling you reasons why things happen.
No excuses. Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I don't make excuses for people. That is a fact, buddy. I don't make excuses.
Ever.
But to go to I do believe that, and this is well documented this season overall. Like I said about Stein, I believe he's a very, very good offensive coordinator. I believe that he is elite versus man coverage. I believe he is really good in the run game. It is in drawing up scheming stuff up. Sometimes you are, and this happens to Will Stein, it happens to Chip Kelly, it happens to every single offensive coordinator that is super, super good. Kyle Shanahan, it happens to Andy Reid, where like sometimes you're like, man, this dude's too smart for his own good right now. Where they come up with something in their brain like this should work, and sometimes it just doesn't. And there was a couple, but like I said, he does struggle against zone coverage. And the next thing is that there was, like in the first Indiana game, we stopped running the football, and Oregon didn't lose this game because of Will Stein. They lost this game.
Why are we talking about him?
No, I'm pointing out because
You're going 10 minutes on Will Stein.
We're talking about the season as a whole.
Okay, Will Stein coached 2 Heisman candidates. Like Will Stein, I don't believe for 1 second Maringer is going to be any better than Will Stein. Like why are you on this guy so bad? They're not going to win the national championship because they don't have Will Stein. I feel like you're just on him just to be on him. Like, why are you going off about him?
Just we're talking about the season, and
you're going 10 minutes on Will Stein like he was a problem.
The pass game versus zone coverage was a problem this season, Aaron.
It was a problem because your quarterback wasn't ready to handle the things he needed to see in his first full year in this offense and playing high-end football.
Here's the thing that Indiana
he wasn't ready
in that game. I would agree that he did not play well at times. And the thing that Indiana does at a very, very high level, and they did it in this Oregon game, they schemed people open a lot. When like on the first touchdown pass, we got a pick because we were in man coverage. No, I'm saying it was a pick. It was a pick route, man coverage, and then. And that we got out coached in the pass game. And then as far as the defense goes, Oregon's defense in this game to me was very similar to Oregon's defense in the first game versus Indiana. In that,
go ahead.
In that, I believe that the defense. So. There's 2 parts to it. The first thing is overall, I don't think that the defense was terrible. Like they have 56 points, but like people were like, oh, the defense was absolutely awful. No, the defense was actually pretty good actually not even pretty good, but through the whole course of the game. On first and second down, they were actually pretty damn good. It was third down that was atrocious. They were 11 for 14 on third down. Some of their third down conversions were like hero plays, like the Surratt back shoulder throws, that throw that I just talked about that Mendoza made to the far right hat to the sideline. Like they made some throws and catches. And Surratt to Fernando Mendoza to Surratt in those back shoulder throws and 50-50 balls, it reminded me of a college version of, so that way you don't think I'm comparing this to this, Aaron, a college version of of Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Adams. Surratt this season with Mendoza on those back shoulder throws, those turned into layups. Like it was unbelievable. Like how in sync this wide receiver and this quarterback are. And that's what you get. And Aaron, we're dealing with an era. I believe that, and we've talked about this endless times this season. We're dealing with a different era of college football. What have all three, the most three, well, assuming that Indiana wins, or even if Miami wins, what will we have dealt with the last 3 champions? What do they all have in common? You're exasperated. It's okay. You can be exasperated.
Go ahead. I'm letting you finish. Making excuses for the Ducks. Go ahead.
They would all be. There's no excuses. They turned the ball over.
What the new era of football? Go ahead. Tell me what it is.
Is they were all older football teams. Michigan senior.
That's not new.
No. It is though. It
is not, because in the past you kept your guys and developed them until they became juniors and seniors, and then you won with them.
No, Aaron,
not new.
No, I'm saying the average age of starters in the last 3 years is significantly higher at Michigan, at Ohio State, and at either Indiana or Miami this year. And you look at Oregon this year, and remember, we talked about in the beginning.
And Oregon was what this year? Oregon was what?
Young.
Okay, who said that all year?
You said that.
Okay.
And prior.
You went against it all year.
No, I did not.
Thank you. Why don't you just say? Why don't you just say, Aaron, you were right the whole time. Everything you said was going to happen. Don't talk about the new era. Just say it. I was
Aaron,
right. You were wrong.
It's a new era of college
oh my
football.
God.
That's why you can't see stuff that is also happening. Because if Aaron,
I can't. Oh my God, dude.
Aaron,
George,
Aaron, see, here is where you're full of ish, Aaron. Here is where you're full of it. You could be doing a podcast for 128 college football teams, and you say this team's not going to win a national championship.
No, I said why,
year, and you will be right.
No,
if you say that about 128 teams, you're going to be right, Aaron. 100% of the time, you are going to be right. 100. If you say that about every team, so you can't say that like, oh, I know what this team's gonna do, because you would not have said that about Miami this year. You would not have said that about any other team this season outside of no. Aaron, here's where I'm not listening to your BS.
George, it's okay.
Aaron, you would have said that about. You would have said in the preseason. You would have said, oh yeah, Ohio State, they can win. This team can win. You would be 100% right that every team is going to lose except for one. So like, don't act like you're Nostradamus about this, because it's not. If you say that this team, if you say, oh yeah,
you've been talking for like 20 minutes, George. Can I talk?
If you say, I don't think that this team's going to win a national.
I know you're emotional, but can you stop?
Be right.
You've been talking for 20 minutes. I know you're emotional. I know it's upsetting. I know you got to Venmo me $100. But the point here is not that, I said they weren't going to win the national championship. I don't even consider that to be a genius prediction, because I thought it was pretty obvious. The only reason why it means anything is when other people say they're gonna, which is what you said. And I gave a reason as to why you're doing it again.
I'm asking you, when did I say that? Because it's not
before
true.
the playoffs. You said it.
Oh my God, Aaron!
And you said the window was open.
Chance to win.
You put it in your bracket that they were going to win. You had them in their bracket, George. Why are you changing history,
Aaron,
you watch too much politics. You watch too much politics. And you think you can just tweet something and then change.
Because I consistently say styles make fights.
George,
and outside of the Indiana game, I thought that they had a very good chance of winning all that the teams that were sitting in front of them. It wasn't that if they had to play Ohio State in the first round of the playoffs, I would have picked Ohio State to win.
Okay, do we have the sidebar? Like, are you just in a mode where you can't admit anything because you want to save face? Like, we should have a sidebar about this, because dude, let me talk. You picked Oregon to win the national championship
because of the bracket, Aaron, not because I thought that they could not be beat.
Regardless, you picked them. Okay, stop. Regardless, you picked them. You picked them to beat Indiana. You said they were going to roll over if they played Miami. You picked them regardless of why you did or didn't. And my reasons for picking against them all season was that they weren't ready for this level. And you kept telling me I didn't have the vision to see how they were, and they're talented and they're going to rise and do this. You guys took me to school on the Penn State game. I said I had my freaking bobblehead here at first because you guys were just going to rail on me about how I didn't have the vision. I couldn't see it, blah, blah, blah. But my vision for this team and why they weren't ready came true. That doesn't mean I think I'm some genius, because picking someone to win a national championship is far more heavy lifting than saying, oh, they're not going to win it. Of course. But when you guys are sitting there telling me, oh, they can win it, and they're going to beat Indiana, and I'm like, yeah, no, they're not ready for this, then you were wrong. I was right, period. It doesn't mean that you don't know what you're talking about. No, it doesn't mean you don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't mean you're not smart. It just means that I was 100% right as to why they weren't going to win it. Just admit that.
Aaron.
Admit it.
Aaron.
Admit it.
In the preview that I did on Unafraid Show, even on Talking Ducks and everything else, we talked about the ways, and I talk about the ways that teams can win. But I did believe that Oregon was going to be able to play cleaner than they did, and it turned out that the injuries to the running back position and the youth played it. The youth, both coordinators being out the door. There was the home game. There was a lot of factors that factored into this game. Those aren't excuses. Those are legitimate things that all factored into the game. Okay. And so to talk about the season as a total, because I know we're going long here, but I want to go to the Dan Lanning thing.
Wait, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's end this podcast with just the season talk, and then let's go and let's do another one right now. You got time?
No, Aaron,
because we're gonna go another whole half hour on the rest of the stuff. It's gonna be an hour and a half podcast. Let's just break it up into two.
Let me make the point, because at the end of this game, right, is that you pointed out. This is the point I want to make. Is that you pointed out? You said, George, you are emotional about this game, and in full transparency, you texted us on the Talking Ducks chat, like thinking that everybody was not okay. Aaron, I've been fine about this game. I do not. Of course, I would not have liked the Ducks to lose. However, I didn't lose one iota of sleep over it. Had we lost the way that Ole Miss lost, I would have lost plenty of sleep. But I looked at this team. This team is young. They are, and I consistently say all the time, if you have a bunch of true freshmen playing, and as your main contributor, as some of your main contributors, your team is not national championship worthy. It's not. And when this season, no, I consistently say that. But I will say this, Aaron, is that I also said I went against what I normally, what one of my complete stances is there, which you were right about. So you can take your hand off your head. Is that freshman teams led by when your freshmen are some of your best players, that does not lead to a championship in general. It does not and has not historically at all. And Oregon is in a situation where you had all of those things factoring in, and that's why they lost. Okay, you can take your hand off your head now, Aaron, and you can close the podcast.
We'll be back with another episode looking ahead. Dear God.